What's up, everybody? It's Izzy, and in this video I'm going to talk about a transition that I recently made to hook grip and basically how it was a lot easier than I thought it would be, and why I would encourage a lot of people to give it a shot if you're one of those people that thought, well, it's not really worth the time taken out of my training that I would be investing and trying to learn hook grip when I could just use those training resources and use that training time to get stronger with my current grip. So first of all, let me say that I do think this is more important for sumo lifters than it is for conventional lifters, and that's just because with your hands outside of your legs, you can kind of tolerate more rotation and movement from side to side than you can with sumo. Now, that's not to say that you should have those things just because you pull with the mixed grip, but the reality is that when you pull with the mixed grip sumo, more often than not, the underhand is going to find a way to sit outside of one of your legs where the overhand will be kind of on top, and this creates a situation where the bar sort of shifts one way or the other. And with heavy enough weights, especially if you don't have a perfectly flat back, you can get windmilling that can cause you to miss heavy lifts. And the great thing with hook grip, of course, is that due to the symmetry of the grip, you're less likely to have something like a bicep tear, which we're all hopefully trying to avoid, and or I think we all are. And more importantly, you can have a slightly shorter range of motion and really eliminate some of those asymmetry problems that you get with mixed grip that can cause windmilling and other issues that cause you to miss, grip-related issues that cause you to miss with near maximal loads. So if you're unfamiliar with some of the benefits of hook grip, those are probably the primary ones right there. For some people, it is a stronger grip. It does decrease the range of motion for most people because it sits lower in your hand and you can have your arms perfectly straight, whereas usually with a mixed grip, the underhand cannot be perfectly straight due to a lack of mobility. But anyway, like I said, hook grip, learning hook grip is usually presented as something that's going to be like a long, slow, painful process, and I think for some people it certainly is. However, that's probably not going to be the case for most of you with normal-sized hands. And when I talk about hand size, it really does come down to more than just how big your hand is, because sometimes the reason why people struggle with hook grip is actually because their palms are too meaty or their fingers are too thick or something like that. And you can run into issues with really big and thick fingers, especially for heavier lifters who have, actual hypertrophy in the muscles of the fingers. That is a thing that happens, particularly among enhanced lifters, but it also happens in natural lifters, and your fingers can bloat and things like that, especially if you are, your hands can bloat, especially if you're cutting weight and rehydrating. But anyway, I was one of those people that, kind of always put off switching to hook grip because mixed grip wasn't causing me that many problems, but recently I missed an attempt at 600 with mixed grip, and then I was able to get it hook grip right after, like a few minutes after. So that kind of sold me on the idea that I was selling myself short by pulling with the mixed grip. Anyway, as I've been getting at but haven't really spoken on yet, I did think it was going to take me a long time to figure out how to pull hook grip and for my thumbs to be able to handle the pain and all of that. But in reality, what happened is that it was a very short process, a very short transition, and really it's taken me about 2 weeks to feel like hook grip is just as solid, if not more solid, than my mixed grip. And the biggest key for me that I got from Bryce Krawczyk, I think that's how you say his name, but anyway, it's Bryce from Calgary Barbell, and that was you need to lay your thumb across the bar rather than trying to wrap your thumb around the bar as much as possible. And when you lay your thumb across the bar, basically you don't get as much pressure on the inside of your thumb. That middle part of the thumb does not get a bunch of pressure, and the bar instead pulls on the thumb pad when you are, engaging your deadlift. So when you start deadlifting and the pressure comes down through your hand and into the fingers, the key is to have it on the thumb pad rather than on the inside of that thumb joint where there's, less meat and padding to protect you. So that was the big key for me, and a lot of other people have talked about this, but really as soon as I figured that out and figured out how that should feel, so you can see right now as I'm, you'll see in a second as I'm setting up for my deadlift, I almost turn my hand into the bar so that I can lay my thumb across rather than trying to wrap my thumb around. And then once I've got my thumb around the bar, I pull the slack out of my grip. And in so doing, it makes sure that I'm not pulling with, that my thumb around the bar, and that the grip is set deep into my finger, which reduces the range of motion, gets the bar on the thumb pad. And then from there, it really only took a couple of sessions for the feeling in my thumbs to kind of go away. And I don't mean like my thumbs are numb. Like I can rub on my thumb right now and feel things. It's just that the sensation of pain was no longer distracting really within 5, 6, 7 sessions. That's really all that it took. And all that I've done in order to do this is I did increase my deadlift frequency just for a little bit, but I wasn't really pulling anything super heavy. I just would pull at least a couple singles at 60% or so every time I went to the gym, just messing around with the hook grip, figuring out how best to get it to sit on that thumb meat rather than the inside of the joint. And once I got that, like I said, I started to not be distracted by the pain on the skin of my thumb. And as you can see in this video here, this is a hook grip PR. It's a stiff bar PR. And I really wasn't thinking about my thumbs at all. My grip held up perfectly, and it was really an easy transition. So the keys for me, again, were laying my thumb flat across the bar, pulling the slack out of my grip so that the bar was sitting in the bottom of my hand on top of that thumb meat, and really just some frequent singles. Like anything else, this is a bit of a skill, so you have to practice it frequently in order to get the hang of it. And by using just singles and practicing it frequently and laying the thumb across rather than trying to wrap it around, I was able to really switch, as you can see, in less than 2 weeks. It wasn't a huge ordeal. And now, I'm confident that I've just improved my deadlift almost overnight. And you can, at my stage of the game where I've been doing this 6-7 years, it's hard to find something that can improve your game overnight. And hook grip is definitely something that I feel like has done that. So if you haven't switched out of fear that it would take too long, I would recommend doing some more research and seeing if you can't pick up some tips and tricks from other people that have successfully made the transition and make it more of a quick transition for yourself, just like it was for me. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. As always, good luck with your training and have a nice day. Peace.